garage. I got something kind of neat. Guy brought me a 2011 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, the 4-door flavor. This one's kind of unique in that steering wheel's on the wrong side. Let's go have a look at this thing, shall we? Pretty black one. Get you some of that. I know it's not that unique, but I thought it was kind of neat. Guy that owns it tells me that the blower motor works intermittently. So, and he delivers the mail with this thing. And I'm sure he would really appreciate having air conditioning, because I know that's not a job that I'd want to do without it. So, we're going to take a look at this thing, find out why the AC is not working. Hopefully it's something simple. Save the guy some money, save him a big headache, and get him back to work. Let's take a look-see here. First thing we got to do is get the key turned on. I'll just go ahead and start it. He's already got the... Oh, here we go. There, the AC compressor kicked on. I felt it. And I can hear the evaporator hissing. And the cooling fans are running, but there's no blower motor. Nothing. Okay. Well, being as there's power to the control head, we don't have to worry too much about that. Now, the blower motor is down under here. So let's stick our heads underneath there and see what we see. What have we got here? There's the blower motor right there. And oh, I don't even have a flashlight and I can see what's going on here. Well, this is going to be a lot easier to diagnose than I had originally thought. Get you some of that. Let's see what I can... Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is... Okay. Wow. Well, one of the biggest problems with things like this is this blower motor, when it's running full speed, pulls a lot of amperage. Especially when they're speeding up from 0 RPMs to God knows how many RPMs they spin when they're at full speed. But take a look at that. That connector is burnt to a crisp. As are the wires going into it. I'd say, well, up about a good 2.5 inches of this wire is going to have to be cut out of there and a new pigtail put in. So, yeah, that's definitely not good. Let's see if we can get our heads up in there and take a real good close look at this connector on the blower motor itself. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, you can definitely see that that's burned a little bit. Alright, well, the next thing here is to get out an electrical tester or voltmeter and see if we have power to this thing. So if it's got power, then we'll just... Well, it's going to need a blower motor. It's going to need that pigtail replaced. And I think I might take a good hard, close look at the blower resistor as well. Usually that's where I see these things burn up, is in the connector at the resistor, not the motor. So let me go grab a Testomatic 9000 and I will be right back. Okay. Got my fluke meter out here. Set the voltage. Right now we're at 0.0. Get these alligator clips threaded off of here. Let's see here. Alright. And we'll take, let me see if I can get you a better look at it here. There we go. And we'll just take a probe that side and that side. Whoop, get back there. Poor connection here. This connector is just roached. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you the tester and hold it all at the same time. But if I get a good connection, it's sitting at 12.93 volts. 7, 5, 7, 6. So yeah. Oh, there's 13. So definitely got good power to this thing. So it hasn't blown a fuse, but it has definitely burned up this connector and burned up the connector on the blower motor itself. So we're gonna go make a phone call, find out what the parts are gonna cost, let the gentleman who owns the car know what he's looking at to have this thing fixed. I'm sure he's gonna do it, but got to call him to make sure that he wants to do it, or maybe he wants to tackle it himself. Who knows? You know, sometimes diagnosing them is a lot harder, and you know, fixing them is not so much. So if this fellow wants to save himself this gentleman wants to save himself some money and fix it himself, I am all about it. Let's see what he wants to do. I'm guessing this will probably be, with parts and labor, he's probably looking around $250, $300 for parts and labor, which ain't too bad. Blower motor Chrysler is probably $600 by itself, and then they charge $120 an hour for labor. Insanity. I get around here and get this thing shut off, pull keys out of it, lock it up. I don't imagine we'll be working on it tonight because I don't have anything to work on it with. All right, get that shut off. Lock it up. Go make a phone call. We'll see what happens. Welcome back, my friends. Well, guy wanted to go ahead and fix it, so I ordered parts for it last night. They didn't have any of it in stock, so I had to order it in, but it was here by 2 o'clock today, so when I got off work, everything was there waiting for me and ready to go. Let's get this blower motor out of here and take a look-see at it, compare it to the other one. Now, I don't know if apparently there's a difference between left and right-hand drive in the way that the blower motor was shaped, but looking at the pictures that they had on the computer at the auto parts store, they look identical, except for one had a pigtail on it and the other one just had the plug-in socket. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this one, compare it to the one that they ordered for me, and if it fits, we'll put it in. If it doesn't, then we'll have to go back to the drawing board and get one ordered for the left-hand drive unit. So give me just a second here. We're going to get situated and get dug in here. Actually, kind of an odd angle there, but there's 3 screws to hold this blower motor in. One right here, one right here, and one right here. Actually, this one's already loose for some reason. Somebody's already been here farting around with it. So is that one. Oh, that'll just make it easier to get it out. So, go ahead and pull these screws out of here. In there so I can see what I'm doing. There it is. Alright. One that I can't see out of there. out first and put it in last. Alright, last screw right here. Where'd you go? There you are. Oh, did I even get on it? Doesn't appear that I did. There we go. Get that third screw out of there, and this should just wiggle right on out. There we go. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't see any difference between the two. They appear to be absolutely identical. Yeah, the air inlets are the same. The connector looks to be the same. Yeah, I don't see any reason why that shouldn't go in there. Well, let's get it lined up and see if the screws line up. Maybe it's something small that I can't see, but they both look right to me. So, out of the way. Huh, I don't see anything wrong with that. That hole lined up perfectly. Back hole lined up perfectly. Well, now I kind of have had a halfway thought that maybe one spun clockwise and the other one spun counterclockwise, but I checked it on their computer while I was there looking at it, and both of them were listed as spinning counterclockwise. So right now I see absolutely no reason why this shouldn't work. Now, one problem I did run into, I'll get you over here, is that pigtail that's burned up, the electrical connector here, wasn't available. So, I think this is going to turn into me having to make something for it. So, I got some male and female spade terminals that I'm hoping will fit these spade terminals in here, and then I can just push them up into there, positive on one side, negative on the other. Because like I said, that this connector is not available, not through O'Reilly anyway. So I'm gonna try to just make my own connector. So let me see if these spade terminals that I have fit this. If they do, I don't see a problem with it being just fine. Not necessarily proper per se, but I'll be able to get good, solid, reliable connections out of it, and I won't have to worry about trying to reuse this piece of crap. There's just nothing left of it. So let me go grab that box of terminals that I've got, and I should probably get a little bit of wire too, soldering kit, so I can cut and splice the burned up wire out of here too, because I am not leaving that in there. So, alright, let's get after that. Okay, after searching for what seemed like an eternity for a roll of electrical tape, finally came across one, and I am running out of daylight quick. Turn my little light on here so you can see my smiling face, and I can see what I'm doing at the same time. Okay. Well, Get these connectors put in here. It turns out that that pigtail is in fact available on a special order. So I went ahead and I ordered it. So I decided against soldering this for now. I'm just going to use butt connectors against my better judgment. It's just kind of a temporary fix until I get that pigtail here, and then I can easily take this apart and not have to worry about soldering all that mess. And I don't have to worry about cutting solder out of it and making the wires even shorter than they already are and making them that much more difficult to connect. So once I get the pigtail harness here, I'll just cut all this stuff out of here and start over, if you will. If you feel the need to run to the comment section and roast me, feel free. I deserve it. I can take it. But in the interest of getting this gentleman his car back so that he can get back to work, it just seems like a necessary evil to me right at the moment. Get that plugged in there now. These are a little closer together than I'd like them to be, so I'm going to take one of them and put electrical tape around it, keep them from touching one another and causing a short circuit and popping a fuse or burning up the control module or something stupid like that. You know, because why not? Alright, that should be pretty solid connection there. Let me get the key turned on. Make sure I didn't put those two connectors on backward and get the blower motor spinning in the wrong direction. Well, maybe I screwed up the polarity. Let's see here. Huh. Yeah. I am out of daylight. I'm out of patience. So I think I'm just going to have to call this guy and tell him he's going to be without his car one more night. And come back and fool with this thing in the morning. So I have no power. So there's got to be, I'm missing something here and I don't know what it is. That goes up and it disappears into the wire harness up there. None of the fuses are bad. I have no power. Yeah, nothing. I don't. I got the new resistor in it. And the resistor wires aren't screwed up at all in it. So I don't know what this thing's problem is. blower motor will work 1 second and not the next. Earlier when I was wiggling these wires, it would come back on. So I cut that bad section out, thinking that was it. Now I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't think the car has to be running for that to work. Well, that's interesting. I turned the AC compressor off and then turned it back on, and now I've got 12.5 volts. And holding steady. Turn the AC compressor off, stayed steady. Turn the AC compressor back on and it went back down to 0 volts. What does the AC compressor have to do with it? And turn this down, it goes, the voltage goes down. And back to how strange. That is really weird. Well, I've got 12 volts now. Why it's only showing 12.5 volts while it's running is beyond me. It should show a little closer to 14, but maybe that's just wishful thinking on my part. There goes the blower motor, working perfectly fine. Now it went out again. Turn the AC compressor off. Back on. Gonna help. I wonder if there's a problem with this control head. This might require my it's a cooling fan. Or aren't you just something special tonight? The other blower resistor back in and see if that makes any difference. I don't think or see why it would, but I've been sold bad parts before. I suppose it could happen again. You've got to be kidding me. Well, I guess guess that's what happens when you buy trip parts made in... Oh, where was this thing made? Taiwan. Guess that's what I get. Alright, we'll let this sit here and run for a little while. We'll change speeds. Yeah, speed controller's working just fine. Oh, I bought a bad resistor and I replaced it before I tested it. Good work. Well, sometimes you just gotta learn the hard way. Get the glove box back on this thing. Figure out his magic combination here because he had it. He's got it hung up here with a bungee cord because the latch is broken. There. I'm just going to let this sit and run for a little while. I wiggled the relay for the blower motor and it stopped acting up. So I'm going to have to dig around so I can find a relay for it. I'm sure I've got one in the pile of junk that I got laying around here. Oh. But I am going to figure this out. I'm going to call it a night. I'm just not going to get it blowing for a couple of seconds and then turn it loose and have the guy come back mad at me. So I'll call him, tell him I run into some troubles with it. Not to worry, I'll get it figured out. We'll get it back to him in the morning. So as it turns out, the blower resistor that I bought was in fact bad. The relay, one of the legs on it was burnt. I went ahead and put a new one in there. And I am completely out of daylight. And O'Reilly didn't have another blower resistor in stock anyway, so they ordered me another one. Actually, she ordered 3 to make sure I got a good one. So it won't be in until tomorrow afternoon, so we'll reconvene at a later time. Welcome back to day 3 of what should have been a 45-minute to an hour-long project. I have blower motor resistor number 2. Now I'm going to go out there and plug it in, test it out, see what happens. If I'm being honest, I'm not very, what's the word I'm looking for here? Optimistic. But not too many other things it could possibly be other than the control head. So let's get this thing stuck in here and see what happens. I plugged it in down there, just left it hanging, and I got nothing. So this is going to run a little deeper than I thought. Here we go. Back to the drawing board. I'm going to have to get a wiring diagram and chase it and see if I can figure out what the hell is going on here. Oh, but I'm just going to end this video here. If I get it figured out, I'll let you know, but pretty defeated right at the moment. No, at any rate, it's got to get fixed. I got to stick to it. So I just got to dig a little deeper into it. I don't know. One of life's many curiosities, I guess. Well, in my quest for fame, fortune, and notoriety, I forgot to hook up the doll. You Gen Xers will get that. What happened? Stick. And was following these. Where'd it go? Here. And you'll see K9 is front A9. K9 is front HVAC relay. Alright. If you look at K10, it's ASD relay. Well, somehow or another, I managed to replace the ASD relay yesterday, which had a burnt leg, so we got a new one. And now I realized what my mistake was, and this relay here also had a burnt leg on it. So now I've replaced it. You hear that rumble? Yeah. Yep. Dyslexia at its finest. And I ended up accidentally fixing another problem that nobody knew this car had. Had two burned relays in it. So with 250 some thousand miles on it, which I can't see it, I guess I'm not terribly surprised. But the end result is this thing's blowing cold air out of the vents. It's blowing consistently, has been for about 20 minutes. So I'm going to call it fixed and let this fella know what I found, what I did. Tell him a story about how sideways it went and get him back to work. So there you have it. Another project in the can. This one wasn't as easy as I thought it was, and to be perfectly honest with you, I do feel a little bit defeated. I feel like I got my butt kicked on this one. But it happens to the best and the worst of us. So hopefully you learned at least what not to do. I don't have much in the way of test equipment here, so I'm doing it old school with voltmeters and test lights, and you've got to be careful with computer controlled cars and test lights, because if you poke the wrong wire, the resistance in the light in the test light will cook the modules. So, but success is success. It's fixed. It's working. All right. I think we're going to close this thing up, wrap it, call it a day. Thanks very much for watching. I sure do appreciate it. As aggravating as this one was, there's still a lot of fun to make these videos and try to show you folks what a good time it is to work on cars and how gratifying it can be when they go right. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Throw me a like and subscribe, will you? It won't hurt you too much, I promise. See you next time.